And now the details. However, as we begin this edition of the News in English, let us first inform you that His Excellency President Paul Kagame has welcomed the Honorable Shirley Bachwe, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, who is in Rwanda. On a working visit, they held constructive discussions on strengthening cooperation between Rwanda and the Commonwealth and the forthcoming CHOGM 2026. The President also received Ambassador Johan Borgstam, the European Union Special Representative for the Great Lakes region. Their discussions covered regional developments, including the need for concrete action to address the root causes of the conflict in the eastern DRC and advance a sustainable path to peace and stability. Now, Rwanda's Angelique Ibishatse delivered a standout performance at the 2026 Kigali International Peace Marathon, winning the women's half marathon and leading an all-Rwandan podium sweep in the 21-kilometer race. Meanwhile, Kenyan runners dominated the full marathon, with both the men's and women's winners setting new course records. William Evans Mutabazi with the details on that.
Thousands of runners took to the streets of Kigali this weekend for the 21st edition of the Kigali International Peace Marathon, one of Africa's leading road races promoting sport, peace and unity. The event followed Saturday's Run for Peace, which attracted more than 4,000 recreational runners. Authorities competed along a route stretching across several parts of the city, including Shelando, Gishushu, Nyarutarama, Kachiru, Kimihura and Chimirongo, before finishing at Mahoro Stadium. The biggest celebration for the home crowd came in women's half marathon, where Rwandan authorities claimed all three podium positions. Angelique Ibishatse crossed the finish line first in 1 hour, 13 minutes and 30 seconds. She was followed by Beltilde Mtuimana in 1 hour, 13 minutes and 54 seconds, while Tabitha Tuyambaze finished third in 1 hour, 14 minutes and 06 seconds. Ibishatse says the victory has motivated her to work even harder ahead of the future international competitions. We were taken to La Paris Gashora for training, and we trained really hard. Today was about doing our best to ensure that we get the gold medal. Now that we have won this, next step is to train more and learn from others so I can achieve more. In the men's full marathon, Kenya's Kefa Lumbasi Namtara claimed victory in a record-breaking time of 2 hours, 14 minutes and 19 seconds, surpassing the previous course record set in 2012. Another Kenyan, Yvonne Juluto, won the women's full marathon in 2 hours, 35 minutes and 35 seconds, also setting a new course record and improving on last year's mark. The two winners attribute their success to disciplined training and thorough preparation.
Running is very difficult. According to say now, you can see now, sometimes you get fatigue, sometimes fatigue is released. It's all about mentality. When you have a good mentality, you get to win easily. If you don't have a strong mentality, the time I reach 40, you see it is difficult to continue because lactic is everywhere. First of all, to reach there,
I feel now better. The course was not easy, but I thank God I finished position 1. Last year I was position 3, but today I become position 1. I thank for the organization of this Kigali Marathon.
Rwanda's Minister of Sports says the government remains committed to growing athletics and expanding opportunities for both male and female athletes.
Félicitations ku Banyarwanda bose abitabiriye Kigali International Peace Marathon.
I want to congratulate all Rwandans and everyone else who participated in this marathon. We are going to keep looking for training and competition opportunities as another way to support and nurture our talents. The winners of the men and women's full marathon each received a prize of $20,000, while the runner-ups earned $15,000, and third-place finishers took home $7,500. In half marathon, the male and female winners were awarded $5,000 each. Now in its 21st edition, the Kigali International Peace Marathon continues to attract elite athletes from around the world while promoting Rwanda as a destination for sport, tourism and international events.
A team of pediatric heart specialists from Israel has arrived in Rwanda for a week-long medical mission aimed at treating children suffering from various heart conditions. The initiative was organized by the Israeli embassy here in Rwanda in partnership with Save a Child's Heart and King Faisal Hospital, Rwanda, with the goal of providing life-saving treatment to children while strengthening local medical expertise. William Evans continues.
The team landed in Kigali at around 10:30 a.m. this Sunday, beginning a week-long mission that will see between 25 and 35 children receive specialized cardiac care. The medical outreach brings together an international team of pediatric cardiology specialists from Save a Child's Heart and Rwanda doctors to assess and treat children living with congenital and acquired heart diseases. The collaboration aims not only to save lives but also to improve access to specialized cardiac care for children who would otherwise face long waiting periods for treatment. According to the executive director of Save a Child's Heart, Simon Fisher, the organization has spent the past 20 years facilitating treatment for children with heart conditions in Israel. However, in October 2023, the organization signed a cooperation agreement with Rwanda's Ministry of Health to begin providing these services within Rwanda.
Since then, we've brought to Israel dozens of complex cases of children suffering from heart disease. But I think more importantly, we've helped train doctors in Israel from Rwanda so that they can come back to Rwanda and lead the same service here. The past 3 years, we've also been supporting King Faisal Hospital by way of donations towards consumables, medical materials, and equipment. I would say we've invested well over $1 million over the past 3 years into equipment, into consumables, into training, into missions coming here, and into children coming to Israel for life-saving heart surgery. And we are delighted to be here. We're very proud of the relationship between Rwanda and Israel and Rwanda. And we are hopeful that this cooperation will only grow and become a regional center of excellence for the whole region. Save a Child's Heart is working very closely with the Ministry of Health of Rwanda. The vision is that within a period of 5 years, all the services can actually be provided here locally at the King Faisal Hospital through a Rwandan team that has been trained in Israel and other places around the world, and in a way that is actually a long-term sustainable program based on local capacity. So that is the view. The view is that within 5 years, Rwanda will be in a position that it can take care of children suffering from heart disease locally based on Rwandan knowledge and personnel.
Beyond treating patients, the mission is also focused on building local capacity through hands-on training, mentorship, and knowledge transfer for Rwandan medical professionals.
So we're excited coming back here to Rwanda. This time, Dr. Mizango Gerard, who trained 3 years in Israel, he's going to lead the mission. And we're here to support him, to support the Rwandan team, doing everything for your children here in Rwanda. And I think this is the best present for us, seeing them working on Rwandan children, healing and saving the lives of children here by themselves. And we're here to support, to work with friends, and we hope for a successful mission. We hope to have the same success rate, and all the people are people we trained, so we brought all the equipment, we have everything here. So I think in the near future we can say Rwanda is like every other place in Europe or Israel or in the United States.
According to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in every 100 children worldwide is born with a congenital heart defect, and nearly 20% of these cases require surgical intervention. Health experts say hundreds of children continue to require specialized heart surgery, underscoring the importance of expanding local treatment capacity and reducing waiting times. The cost of sending a child abroad for cardiac surgery can reach up to $15,000 per patient. By bringing specialist teams to Rwanda, partners said treatment costs can be significantly reduced while allowing more children to access life-saving care closer to home.
Thank you, William. Now to regional matters, and political and economic analysts believe that the establishment of an East African Community Political Confederation would create new opportunities for member states by strengthening cooperation, expanding the common market, and enhancing the region's voice on the international stage. We have more with Adams Kwizera.
The Political Confederation is envisioned as a framework that will enable EAC member states to work more closely together on political affairs, governance, peace and security, foreign policy, and other regional challenges, while each country retains its sovereignty as an independent state.
Ibiganiro bitandukanye ndetse n'amaraporo n'ibyemezo.
We were operating under the East African Community Framework established by the treaty, which came into force in 1999 and was later revised in 2007. The treaty itself contains provisions that envision the eventual establishment of a political federation of the EAC. Following this vision, consultations were conducted at the national level across member states, and reports were submitted to the heads of state. By 2011, a team of experts had been established to examine the matter, and in 2013, a model for the proposed political confederation was developed. The idea was well received, leading to the adoption of a broad roadmap outlining how the process toward political integration would begin to be studied and implemented.
Watanzwemo icyemezo cy'abakuru b'ibihugu vuga ko noneho iyo nzira itangira kwigwa.
Fatuma Ndangiza, a politician and member of East African Legislative Assembly EALA, notes that the progress already achieved, particularly in economic integration, provides a strong indication of what could be accomplished through deeper political integration among the EAC countries.
So usanga harimo ibyiza tumaze kugira ariko cyane mu bucuruzi iyo umuntu arebye statistics z'ubucuruzi.
We have already achieved significant progress, particularly in trade. For example, statistics shows that from early 2025 showed that intra-EAC trade had reached approximately $4.6 billion, while trade growth standing at around 15%. However, this is still not enough, as there remain several barriers that we must address if you are to fully realize the objectives for which the East African Community was established. As part of efforts to further advance regional integration, particularly in the political sphere, the EAC conducted consultations with leaders and citizens across member states during 2007 to 2008 to gather views on the project of establishing a political federation for the region. However, findings from those consultations indicated that the region should first pass through the stage of a political confederation. This transitional phase would help harmonize policies on governance, security, and foreign affairs before moving towards a full political federation, as explained by EAC official Edward Kitonsa.
Fourth pillar is the political confederation. The political federation, but along the journey we have agreed as a region that we will take the model of a confederation as a transitional model to the political federation, and for purposes of bringing us together politically in terms of strengthening our foreign policy coordination as a region, as well as governance, and in terms of being looked at as one political entity globally. So the confederation is a transitional model that we have adopted, and where we will still maintain a sovereignty of each partner state, and currently we are in the process of drafting a constitution that would guide that process of the confederation.
The president of Uganda and current chairperson of the East African Community, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has acknowledged that the journey toward East Africa integration and African integration more broadly has faced numerous challenges.
How about political integration? In the case of East Africa, we the Pan-Africanists have never relented. Ever since the student days in the 1960s, we have been struggling for that integration, supporting our elder Pan-Africanists, Mwalimu Nyerere, Abeid Karume, Kenneth Kaunda, Arap Moi, etc. With Mzee Kibaki, Mzee Mkapa, President Kagame, President Nkurunziza, we called for the fast tracking of the federation in the year 2014. However, on account of the awkwardness of the African Revolution, seeing what is happening in much of Africa, instead of uhuru na umoja, in many countries, in many areas, we have got uhuru na uhasama, freedom and discord. Africa is still there, although we have lost opportunities, but we can catch up.
From this Monday in Kigali, the East African community will launch consultations with citizens and various stakeholders to gather views that will contribute to the drafting of a consultation that could guide the region should it move towards political integration under the proposed EAC political confederation.
Parents in Gitochi sector, Gatsibo district, that's in the eastern province, are happy that their children no longer have to travel long distances to attend school. They note that this has improved academic performance. Adam Squeezera once more.
These were reiterated by parents whose children attend Mukaranje school in Gitochi sector, Gatsibo district. They explained that 4 years ago, finding nearby secondary school for their children was a major challenge in the area. However, after additional classrooms were constructed at Mukaranje school and secondary education was introduced, they say the changes have significantly improved learning outcomes for their children. Gatsibo district has a total of 202 schools, including 62 owned by faith-based organizations. Mukaranje School is one of the schools established by the Union of Baptist Churches in Rwanda, whereas the head pastor, Thomas Murwanashyaka, emphasized that the church will continue to invest in the construction of more schools to support the country's education sector. The administration of Gatsibo district commends the contribution of development partners in promoting education, describing it as a strong foundation of Rwanda's future. Ngamishe Al-Hassan, Director of Human Resources and Administration in the district, added such partnerships also help the district to achieve its development targets and performance commitments. Residents of Gatsibo district said that increasing the number of schools close to communities is a major step towards improving the quality of education and securing a better future for their children.
Thank you, Adams. Now, the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda has concluded a training program for party members who will in turn train others as part of efforts to strengthen the party's structures across the country. William Evans Mutabazi with more.
The training sessions were conducted in districts across the southern and northern provinces and are expected to continue in the eastern and western provinces as well as the city of Kigali. According to the president of the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, Senator Frank Habineza, the program is intended to address gaps that have been identified or could emerge in the party's efforts to contribute to national development alongside other stakeholders. We need to have more ideas and opinions, especially coming from the locals. This way, we shall be able to advocate for different issues concerning locals at different levels. Dr. Habineza also called on Green Party members to actively participate in the upcoming local government elections scheduled for September. Local government elections will not consider political parties. We therefore encourage you to participate fully, and this is part of your civic responsibility and duty. Party members who attended the training said that they will continue supporting government programs aimed at improving the welfare of citizens and accelerating development. We have just learned that our party is going to the grassroots. I think when they do, it will help many women be bolder, and it will also make our party's activities known at the grassroots level. What this will do is help us in mobilizing each other at the grassroots level. The party leadership has also welcomed recent reforms in land and environmental protection laws, noting that several proposals previously submitted by its representatives were taken into consideration during the review process. For the party, the reforms demonstrate the value of constructive engagement in policy making and national development.
William Evans Mutawazi with that report. Now we'll take a short break and then come back with international news shortly. I'm glad you took the time to join us for this edition. Until I see you again, it is goodbye from me.